I am Wellness Hero. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to be going over several significant resources today, and it's all about the facts. It's all about looking at the current conditions. And today is February 19th here on the East Coast. It is 4:20, and what we are going to go over is a lot of resources and the most accurate resources up to date. And it's important to notice the timestamp because right now what we're looking at is here. It's February 19th. It was released at 6:32 in the morning, and what we are seeing is the most recent alert map for earthquakes. And there is in the yellow and north above it in Canada, in North America, we have a red and yellow. And what we're seeing is that there's an increased risk with the yellow area of a magnitude of 5 plus. And as we go through all our resources, it's going to be real-time data. I'm going to show you, I want you to explore for yourself. I want you to look into what's going on, not just at the Oroville Dam, but all over California. We're seeing some record significant aspects, but utilizing this real-time data, checking in with the USGS and the earthquakes and the magnitudes and what's happened in the last several days. It's very, very important to put together that the Department of California Water Resources has some amazing reports and incidents, and that's really where we're going to begin today. The situation at Lake Oroville, the lake elevations continue trending downward and have fallen more than 45 feet from the height of the emergency spillway, and the overflows outpace flow at the reservoir, and the goal of achieving the reservoir depth is 850 feet remains a priority. That's going to be important, this 850 feet, because as we're going to look through some charts and some data of some real time, and they're updating this again, February 19th right now, there is this put out, and we're going to come back to that. But what we want to notice right now is what we're looking at is the California Department of Water, and they have all these rivers and the water storage. But what we're going to focus on is the Feather River. The Feather River is the one that's been receiving a lot of attention, and that's because it feeds Lake Oroville. And right now, the elevation of the water is at 853 feet, and they want to maintain 850. So they're very, very close. So a lot of water has been released from this dam. But another thing to check out is a percent of the capacity. So that's basically saying that 80% capacity is a normal standard for them to have the water at. And as we kind of shift through some things, this is, again, another great resource. I'm going to put a link in the description box below. So you check all these resources for you. But we're looking at the Oroville Dam, and we are, again, on the Water Department of California's resource. It's a free government resource. Today is the 19th of February, and right now 851 feet as of this video, and they're very close to their goal. So the level and the aspect of the emergency spillway overflowing happens at 901 feet. So at 901 is where the emergency spillway overflows. Right now we're looking at 851, so there's no aspect of the emergency spillway coming into play, and they've been doing a lot of repairs to that. And that's one of the things we're looking at is the incident report from the Department of Water. The Oroville, there was road closures because the road has been washed away. And you can check those out, but they also have trail closures. The California State Department of Parks has closed off a lot of the recreation areas. I'm not really sure you want to recreate below where the Oroville Dam and Oroville Lake is at the current time. But they do have roadblocks and security checkpoints. Oroville Dam East at Glen Drive, there is that, so be aware. And then as with the California Department of Fish and Wildlife area facilities, it's completely closed. The wildlife areas are flooded and extremely dangerous, so do not attempt to visit them. So don't go near the Oroville Dam is basically the theme of that. And we already kind of, know that. But the most important thing is check the description box below, follow some of these resources, and despite the current inclement weather, they continue to make repairs to the erosion below the dam. They're constantly dropping like these big boulders and aggregate and cement slurry, and it's used to repair and the road that's been blown away, as well as areas below the emergency spillway. Yet as of this morning, and this was actually the latest report we're looking at was the 18th of February, so this is actually yesterday. So yesterday morning, the water flow down the spillway is 80,000 cubic feet per second. And that's kind of went down a little bit because I've looked at a current report of the resources that we have, and it's down to 55,000 cubic feet per second. And that's because they're very close to the 850 satisfactory level of Lake Oroville. And again, 901 is when the emergency spillway comes into place. But the trail systems are closed, and they are like monitoring people in and out of there because there's a lot of activity. There's people going, exploring, and I don't know if it has to do with videotaping, but the bottom line is this: I would stay away from that area. And if you are in that area and you need something access to evacuation centers, the evacuation center at the Silver Dollar campgrounds. That's the only one that's going to be open by Butte County, and all those seeking, shelter and assistance should absolutely go there. But as we go back through, the incident report, there are roadblocks in that area. But I don't feel with the emergency spillway is not, you can see the inflows and the outflows. The inflow right now is at 26,000 cubic feet per second, and the outflow is at 54,000. So, that's reduced by over half, and it's almost at the feet that they wanted. So as we kind of go through these, we look at, okay, you got all these rivers in California. What's the percentage capacity out of them? Wow, the Trinity River at Whiskeytown's at over 100% capacity, and at Lewistown, the Trinity River's at 98%. California's saturated right now. The Sacramento River, 90 and 91% respectively at Shasta and Keswick. As we move down to the Feather River, which we've been looking at for the most part, at the Oroville Dam area, it's at 81. Lake Oroville's at 81% capacity, and then the Feather River, as it moves down over 100, 92 here at Lake Davis, over 100 at Antelope, and again the Uba River over 100%. The American River is at maximum capacity almost at several of its major locations. And as we just keep scrolling down through this amazing resource, you're going to see that several rivers are all not only over 80, 90, but we have 100 as well. So the situation on Lake Oroville continues to trend downward, and they're reducing the outflow in a very healthy way. But as we kind of check out, the California Department of Resources, and we go through some of the latest earthquakes in the area, is there a threat of an earthquake? Well, that's exactly why I have this most recent alert map in the area, and there is an increased aspect. Most recently, there was a 6.3 magnitude earthquake, and that was predicted. And again, I'm going to put the links in the description box below, but this is the Suspicious Observer on YouTube. What we're looking at is the most recent earthquake warning system in the world, and it's posted on Twitter every day for free. It's a free resource, and today it was updated at 6:32, but there is an increase in the Northern California area of a potential. And again, it's not any type of threat. We're not looking at some fear-based aspects, but the current reservoir conditions all over, this is an amazing resource. Lake Oroville, we already know it's at 80% for its capacity over the course. If we utilize this red layer, that's the historical average. It's above average, but Lake Shasta, 90%, 74, Don Pedro, 97, Lake McCune, 90%, San Luis Reservoir, 94%. These are very, very saturated areas. And I encourage you to utilize the California and Nevada River Forecast Center. This is an amazing interactive map. We can zoom in here on what we're looking at with Lake Oroville, but you can just see where the capacities are. And even if you see in green, that's really, we're looking at the Feather River at the Gridley area, and the current river conditions is at 90 feet. The monitor stage is at 95 feet, so it's only 5 feet below. So all the river and drainage, it's not just the dam per se, but the structure of the dam seems to be okay. And another major factor is the California snow water content. The latest report was February 17th. Again, timestamps, people. February 19th, right now, it's at 4:27 p.m. in Eastern Standard Time. And what we're looking at is the record snowfall. It's the blue we're looking at right now. And the record ever was back in 82, 83. That was the max. But look at us at the dark blue, royal blue right here. We're just above average in all these aspects. So there is more water coming to all these rivers. There is more water coming to all these reservoirs and lakes and the dams. But the biggest aspect is it's not a fear-based thing. just because we look at that California is in an alert earthquake area, just because we're monitoring like real-time data. The biggest aspect is to educate yourself. Check the resources. Check the description box below because I'm going to post everything that you're seeing here in the video. And what's going on currently at Oroville Dam? Well, the situation is don't go near there. The lake levels are right about where they want them. What does it have to do with the current, areas that are affected by erosion? Well, the emergency spillway is not a threat right now, but I would say as we go through the next 6 months, as we look down the road, keep monitoring the levels of all these rivers and utilizing the daily reservoir. And as we see of today, February 19th, a lot of these rivers are at the maximum percentage capacity. And that's what this video is about. It's about using the resources and the real-time data. The emergency spillway is not in threat of going over yet. It had received significant erosion. The Oroville Dam, the Feather River, monitoring its stages and utilizing, hey, what is the river stages? What is the river forecast? What are the current precipitation levels? Utilizing the tools. And that's why I'm making this video. It's not a fear-based thing about the Oroville Dam, yet we do know significant erosion has taken place in the regular spillway, the emergency spillway, but the emergency spillway is not in any threat. There is significant outflow to the inflow, yet there is lots of more storms coming. So I want you to keep your eyes open, check what's going on with earthquakes. I got a lot of responses in the last video, but utilize these resources, utilize what's available to you, know what's coming, especially with the warmer weather as the vernal equinox approaches. We're almost a month away from that on March 21st. But know right now at the Oroville Dam, there's no significant threat with the water coming in, and that's really what this is. So as always, my friends, in your individual body, stay hydrated. Do not spread fear. Spread love. Put it into your heart center. There is a situation going on, yet educating yourself, knowing what's available, checking deeper, and not just following radical pictures. As always, stay safe, live enthusiastically, stay hydrated, stay in real time. Today is February 19th. It is 4:30 in the Eastern Standard Time. I am Wellness Hero. Have blessings on your day. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button. Please share, because it is about the resources. It is about the education aspect. It is not about spreading fear, but there is a real situation. There is a threat to the erosion that has taken place. Yeah, when we monitor the current conditions of water coming in, going out, specifically at the Feather River and the Oroville Dam area, the government's monitoring people that are going around there. So just stay away, but utilize the maps. Know what's available for free. Have blessings on your day. Namaste.